What are the causes of relative deprivation? Relative deprivation, the perception of being unfairly disadvantaged compared to others, can be influenced by a myriad of factors. This exploration aims to simplify the understanding of the causes of relative deprivation, providing clear examples to illustrate how various elements contribute to the emergence of this psychological phenomenon. Economic disparities. One of the primary drivers of relative deprivation is economic inequality. When individuals or groups perceive significant differences in wealth and income, feelings of relative deprivation can emerge. Example: income disparities in the workplace. Consider a workplace where employees with similar roles receive vastly different salaries. Those earning less may experience relative deprivation, feeling unfairly disadvantaged compared to their higher-earning colleagues. The perceived economic disparity can impact job satisfaction and overall well-being. Social comparison. The human tendency to compare ourselves to others plays a pivotal role in the development of relative deprivation. Constant social comparison, especially in the age of social media, can contribute to feelings of inadequacy. Example: social media and lifestyle comparisons. In the realm of social media, individuals often share curated glimpses of their lives. Seeing posts of friends enjoying lavish vacations, successful careers, or thriving relationships can intensify feelings of relative deprivation for those who perceive their own lives as less glamorous. The constant exposure to these comparisons can foster a sense of discontent. Cultural and identity factors. Cultural norms and identity play a significant role in shaping perceptions of relative deprivation. Individuals may feel a sense of relative deprivation when their cultural or identity group experiences disparities in treatment or representation. Example: representation in media. Consider a cultural or ethnic group that is consistently underrepresented or negatively portrayed in the media. Members of this group may feel a sense of relative deprivation as they perceive a lack of recognition and fair representation. This feeling can contribute to collective efforts to address media inequalities. Educational disparities. Disparities in access to quality education can contribute to relative deprivation. When certain groups face barriers to educational opportunities, it can create a sense of unfair disadvantage. Example: educational resources in underserved communities. In communities with limited access to quality education, students may experience relative deprivation compared to their peers in better resourced areas. The perceived inequality in educational opportunities can have long-lasting effects on individuals' academic achievements and future prospects. Political exclusion and injustice. Political factors, including exclusion from decision-making processes and perceived injustice in governance, can fuel relative deprivation. Example: voter suppression and political discontent. In a scenario where certain groups face barriers to voting, such as voter suppression tactics, members of these groups may experience relative deprivation in the political sphere. The perception of being unfairly excluded from the democratic process can lead to political discontent and efforts to address these inequalities. Global disparities. On a global scale, disparities between nations can contribute to feelings of relative deprivation. Countries that perceive themselves as unfairly treated in international relations may experience political and social unrest. Example: economic disparities in global trade. Imagine a developing country that feels disadvantaged in global trade agreements, leading to economic challenges. The perceived global economic inequality can fuel a sense of relative deprivation, influencing political and economic policies as the nation seeks to address these disparities on the international stage. Media influence. Media representation and framing of social issues can shape perceptions of relative deprivation. Biased or skewed media coverage can contribute to a distorted view of reality, fostering feelings of injustice. Example: media portrayal of economic success. Consider media narratives that consistently highlight the success stories of a select group while downplaying the struggles of others. Those who perceive themselves as falling short of this idealized success may experience relative deprivation, fueled by the media's portrayal of economic disparities. Psychological factors. Individual psychological factors, such as personality traits and cognitive biases, can also contribute to the development of relative deprivation. Example: personality traits and sensitivity to inequality. Individuals with certain personality traits, such as a high need for achievement or competitiveness, may be more sensitive to perceived inequalities. Their personality predispositions can amplify the impact of relative deprivation, influencing their overall well-being and responses to disparities. Conclusion: the causes of relative deprivation are multifaceted, spanning economic, social, cultural, and psychological realms. Understanding these factors is essential for addressing the root causes of perceived inequalities and fostering a more equitable society. By recognizing the diverse sources of relative deprivation, individuals, communities, and policymakers can work towards creating creating environments that minimize disparities, promote inclusivity, and contribute to the overall well-being of society. World.